Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES right now. Still very much narrow range over the last developing 8 days now. Just finished 7 days of compression, now on the 8th day. We have an inside day at the moment. Another bullish bounce outside of the 8-period average, so down below and then bouncing back above it. Developing buy signal here. We could be looking at a push to and through the previous session's high, maybe get us up into the higher portion of the last couple of day range here toward that 4,000. But remember, we're still stuck inside this trading range here until the foreseeable future here with an upward bias at the moment. We are still trending up. We continue to see the 8-period and the PIMA trigger zone trend higher here, and we're seeing bulls defend in that zone. Eventually, we could still break to the downside, so a breakout from this range will trigger the next major move. Right now, in the ES, we're looking at least 300 points on the next breakout move, just based off the 7-day range. We are now developing 8. So right now, upward bias here, kind of a melt-up phase back toward the previous highs. If a rejection occurs at 4,000, back inside the range we go. So right now, inside this narrow developing 4-day range. Let's take a look here at the NQ. The NQ here showing a bit of rejection at the previous session's low. That rejection right there is a good one at the prior lows as well. What that can do is take you right back to the midpoint of the previous session, and then beyond the midpoint you start looking at the previous session's high, potentially an outside day up in the best case scenario. Maybe there's not enough volatility and volume here for that type of move today, but we'll see if it can continue to hold above the previous session's low, previous session's midpoint's the next target, and once acceptance beyond that level occurs, it opens up the previous session's high as the next target beyond that. So right now, watching to see if it can push through the previous session's mid, otherwise failing to get through that mid right now, and we're stuck in a downtrend pushing lower. Alright, let's take a look here at crude oil. Right now, crude oil up 1.5%. Yesterday, a big time rejection. Headline risk coming in at the most opportune time. Price testing the key range low. This is something we talked about yesterday. We wanted to see price go and test the key range low, perhaps get as low as 75s, test the previous year's close, and then watch for a rejection. Headline risk coming in at the right time, big time rally off of the previous year's close. The low was 75.27. We took out the key range low. Just like last time, here's the key range high, and you see the rejection back to the midpoint, and then fails at the mid and goes to the low. Now you're seeing a rejection at the low. The expectation could be a bounce back toward 85 in that midpoint. That's why yesterday pre-market video we were looking at any rejection down here could lead us back toward 85 up ahead. Already a big time rejection developing in the previous session, holding right now onto those gains, holding up 1.5% here. Very strong move, not a whole lot of price action outside of the big swish down and the big reversal, but it is a very strong low nonetheless. And ideally, as long as price can hold above that midpoint, it starts to work its way back toward the midpoint of the key range after rejecting the low. Alright, let's take a look at gold futures. Gold up 0.25% inside day right now, but trending down off of the recent pivot high. So we have a very strong rejection and rally. We hit a squat bar here inside day and broke that down. Then sell the morning rip today. Price rallying or pushing higher in overnight trading, rejecting the previous week's low and close from below, and now turning back down. So this right here, again, sitting right at the important 1738 half level. That is the key range high. That's the July FOMC key level. And we have an inside day, a downward bias, morning rips being defended. That's what's happening right now. Perhaps a strong high developed in the 5 o'clock hour here above 1750. What that could do is lead to weakness the rest of the day, where we're giving up that 1738 half, and perhaps looking at a fade back toward 1680. Lastly, taking a look here at ETH futures. This one right now up 2.4% right now. Again, great impulse sell-off here. A great initial bounce, but not enough juice to get us to that 1355 half midpoint. That would have given us a key range. Instead, we've kind of coiled up, a little bit of a pullback here, failed new low developing, and through this previous session's midpoint. This is all happening right at the 1100 level. 1100 big time level here recently. Again, right now in a precarious zone here. Giving up 1,000 and you start to really open up the triple digits down below, and every time this thing tends to bounce, a harder decline happens, and when it fails to reach that midpoint, it's an indication of how weak this market remains. Alright, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.